In 1999, at 10 years old, I was really sick, and I was later diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Inspired by my dance class, I thought, why don't we put on a show to raise money and raise awareness about the disease and how important it was. Little by little, each year, we were able to do more, reach more people, raise more dollars, and now we're celebrating 20 years, and it's amazing.
I first became involved with Touched by Type 1 when it was just a teeny tiny little dance show called Dancing for Diabetes in Elizabeth's driveway. I was a dancer in that first original performance and continued to dance in the show for many years after. And she and I were friends, and I just continued to help and offer support as a volunteer for the show for many years. About 7 years ago, we had the idea to start implementing and expanding some programs, and that's when we started the Kids and Teens with Diabetes dance program. From there, we met with families and had the opportunity to listen to them and hear what needs they have in the type 1 community. So we started developing more programs and initiatives, and eventually just started doing way more than dance shows. That's when we started brainstorming the idea to become what we are now, which is Touched by Type 1.
Touched by Type 1 was named because you're literally touching everybody who's involved with Type 1. We have something for everybody, but it's also something that you can kind of pick and choose what is important to you. We have our annual bowling event, we have our annual conference, we also have our dance program for Touched by Type 1 kids here in Central Florida. That's culminated with our show at the end, Dancing for Diabetes. We also have outreach programs as well as our Type 1 at School and our D-Box. And I think that all of those programs really offer something for everybody, because no matter if you're local to Central Florida or if you are somewhere else in the country or even around the world, you're able to find a resource or a program that fits your need.
Touched by Type 1's mission is to elevate awareness of type 1 diabetes, raise funds to find a cure, and inspire those with diabetes to thrive. Nearly 1.25 million Americans currently have type 1 diabetes, and an additional 64,000 cases are diagnosed every year. And the trend is moving that by 2050, 5 million Americans are going to have type 1 diabetes.
It's important to know the signs and symptoms because the number of misdiagnosed cases is also increasing. It's important to know the signs and symptoms so that you can be vigilant and look out for your loved ones and your friends and your students, your neighbors, and to be able to possibly save a life if you know these facts.
Type 1 diabetes should definitely be taken seriously. This is not, the typical diabetes that everybody knows about, that 90% of Americans live with. When people don't understand that, it's hard for them to A, empathize with the people who are going through this, also B, have any real understanding of why it's so important for us to find a cure for this disease.
There's no way to avoid the reality that type 1 diabetes is deadly. It's a scary disease, and it has taken the lives of many and will continue to take the lives of many until we have a cure. We try to stay positive about it and provide resources and materials to thrive and live well despite that. But it's important that people understand the severity of this disease, and through programs such as our awareness campaign, through the videos we're able to produce and place online, we can impact and educate more and more people so they understand how serious it is at the same time.
When you have a child who has type 1 diabetes and you have all of these hopes and dreams for them and you're just desperate for a cure, I feel like when you have that sitting on your heart as a parent, anytime someone brings up a cure and you want it so badly, that to have it not be available, it's heartbreaking. And I know as a child that my daughter feels that she's different in a lot of ways, even though she puts on a smile and she says it's fine. I do feel like, everyone would be so much happier living without this disease.
The most important thing that I've learned is that type 1 diabetes is something that not only affects the individual living with the disease, but those who love and care for that person as well.
We can come up with the ideas and develop those into actual programs and resources that positively impact the lives of those touched by type 1. We can create networks and we can create support groups and programs to connect people to what they need to thrive with this disease. What I can't do is walk into a research lab and cure diabetes. I'm not a scientist. So the funds that we're able to raise are able to help those find those resources or get them those resources directly that they need, but then also fund the cure. We have a really great partnership with the Diabetes Research Institute, who is solely focused on a biological cure for type 1 diabetes. So they're going to handle finding the cure, and we're going to help everyone thrive until we get it.
When I think of lives that we've changed as an organization, the Kids and Teens program comes to mind. It's been 7 years since we started that program, and many of the kids that were in that first class are still with us today. It's just been really rewarding to see them grow in confidence with their diabetes. And it's been really special to see the relationships that they've built with each other. I know a lot of them are best friends, and their parents are best friends, and knowing that it all came from a program that we just had this idea for in creating this space where they could all come and just be the same together has just been really special to be a part of that. And I've loved watching them grow.
In 20 years, we've gone from a dance show in a driveway all the way to a full-fledged organization that is constantly evolving to address the needs of everyone who is touched by type 1. So if we hear of someone saying, I wish you had this, we respond. We actually will take that to heart and say, okay, there are people who are wanting this program. Let's see how we can make this happen. So we know that these programs are working for people because we're hearing it from the people who are living it.
When you're diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, you're told a cure is 5-10 years out there. Don't worry, hang on. Well, it's been 21 years for me since I've heard that. But I am very hopeful that a cure is in not just the future, but my future. There is such great progress being made all around the world focused on type 1 diabetes, and we just have to get there. And I know we will. I know there's a lot of people focused and driven for personal reasons to find that cure. And I know that organizations such as ours are helping that cure come about. I can't believe it's been 20 years since all of this started on my parents' driveway, and what we've been able to do over all these years and all the people we've been able to impact. It's humbling, it's exciting. I'm so very proud of it, and I'm proud of everyone that has been along for the journey.